So you want to hit things with a hammer, huh? But you don't know what to do. Well, luckily for you, the hammer is a pretty straightforward weapon. Essentially, what you want to do is you want to go up to the head of a monster, and you want to hit the head. That is the main thing you want to do. Now, there are a lot of little nuances in the attacks that you should know, such as what upswings come out at which times during the combos, and also what combos lead to optimal deeps or DPS. So in this video, we're going to go over the basics of the hammer. Your most basic combo is triangle, 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 also mouse 1, mouse 1, mouse 1, or Y, Y, Y. And it's essentially a 3-hit combo. It's overhead smash 1, overhead smash 2 into upswing. And upswing is an offset attack, so if it clashes with a monster's attack just before the attack hits you, you can essentially reduce the damage or nullify the damage and deal damage to the monster. So if you time it right, you can actually get a very positive effect. So here's what that looks like. Another basic thing you can do before the combo is if you are moving, you will do side smash, and side smash can lead into overhead smash 2. So for example, if you want to like reposition, especially in focus mode, you will move whatever direction you're moving. So if I'm moving to the left, I'll sidestep to the left. This gets you into the second hit of the attack, and then you can hold the upswing to counter as the attack is coming in. So if you are on the side of the monster and you want to rotate to the front, you can just do, you can enter focus mode, so that way you have like complete control over your positioning. So let's say I'm moving to the right attack, and then notice like the step afterwards, that gets you an overhead smash 2, and then you can hold the upswing. And you can also reposition again after overhead smash 2. So I'm just holding in left, and then I have an upswing, and you can hold it for quite a while. It does eventually force a release, but you can hold it to time it better, and then as soon as you release, it will release. So kind of get used to the timing on that. So if you want to go for an offset attack, you can also use focus mode to kind of like angle yourself in. So I can kind of like go like this, like get inside of the monster, then go for an upswing. Before we move on to the other attacks, another thing you can do for the basic combo is when you do an overhead smash, if you hold directional input, you can keep changing direction in between them. So similar to the side smash, which you can use mid-motion, you can also just straight up do overhead smash, move, overhead smash, move, and then do your upswing. I know you're thinking, alright, so I'm just hitting this dude with hammers, but what about all this cool stuff? Well, here's some cool stuff. So when you do a basic overhead smash, there is this move that unlocks called spinning bludgeon. So as you're doing your combo, you can hit both primary and secondary to do a spinning attack. That as you spin, there are different things that can come out of it. And you can also do a spinning attack at any point in your combo chain. So after the first hit, you can spinning. So after overhead smash 1, after side smash, you can enter into spinning. So if you want to like reposition and then start spinning to win. Also note that the release turns into an upswing when you hold it. And at the tail end of spinning bludgeon, you can also kind of chill out for a second to time a counter attack, because this also is an offset attack in addition to a combo finisher. There's the upswing. You can seamlessly link your primary attacks together with the spinning attack and enter and exit it at will. So if we do any basic attack and then hit primary and secondary and then do another primary, we can get into and out of it. So I just like exit it and then exited spinning, then I'm back into it, then overhead smash, now we're back into it. You can kind of continuously attack into and out of spinning bludgeon through overhead smash and side smash to get in and out of combos. And the nice thing about the spinning attack is that you can kind of be moving and in some cases keep distance from the monster. So you can be dealing damage while avoiding attacks, while also moving, which is very important. The next ability we have is the charge. To activate the charge, you hold R on PC, right trigger on the Xbox, and R2 on the PlayStation. And essentially what it lets you do is it lets you charge up to do different attacks, and during charge you can use alt fire to reposition while retaining charge. You can also dodge roll, but then you lose your charge, so that's why that could be useful. Let's say the monster does like a big attack, and you're like, oh no, I have to avoid it. Then you can keep your charge and still do an attack out of it. So the charge levels. So for level 1, you can do the charge side blow, which is just activated with primary, and that leads into a basic combo that you can see is actually outlined there, which is just charge level 1 into primary. So you can just do like a basic combo like this, which does a decent amount of damage and activates relatively quickly. And then for charge level 2, you actually get access to upswing. So if we want to just hold it in, we can do an upswing. And then if you actually hold it into level 3, you get to charged big bang, which does this. The final attack in the charge is the mighty charge, which leads to this animation. Now when you're in this, if you let it go, you will attack. If you let go of the charge button, but if you let go of primary fire, it actually doesn't matter. So you can let go of R or hit primary fire again. You can actually move around to try to like aim this. Now this is a pretty big attack, so if you can land this on a monster, it does pretty good damage. It does some of the highest damage, some of the biggest damage on this weapon. But obviously there's a lot of wind up, and if the monster moves around a lot, you can easily whip these, and it definitely does not feel good to miss that big wind up. For alternate fire, we have the Big Bang, which has a 5-part combo, and if you miss any part of it, it will drop. Now, this damage output is decent, but typically primary and other things like spinning attack are better. And also the final hit of Big Bang combo, the Big Bang finisher, can be replaced with something better. So typically what you want to do is get into the 4th hit, hit your charge button, primary and secondary, to get into mighty charge, and then do a big mighty charge attack for huge damage. So that is typically where you want that combo to end. On the wound side of things, we have the focus blow earthquake. Now directional input does not change it. It is always focus blow earthquake. So in my case on PC, it's shift, does a basic combo, detonates the wound. And then also, if you charge, you can do a focus blow earthquake with the charge, and you will retain your charge during it. So now I can immediately do something with my charge if I want to. So those are the major things that you can do with wounds. To wrap up here, essentially what you want to do is hug the monster's head and whack it with as many attacks as possible, and try to weave in attacks. Use your upswings to offset attack to nullify incoming enemy attacks or reduce the damage to allow you to continue your combos up. Weave in spinning bludgeon when it makes sense to. Use spinning bludgeon to reposition. You can see how I was like headed this way, and I use spinning bludgeon to essentially passively dodge attacks. Same thing with basic movement. Like you want to use your directional input in between attacks to set things up, to reposition towards wounds, to set up wounds. Obviously, you want to primarily be whacking the head of the monster, ideally. If that's not possible, you can still go for other weak points. Sometimes wings can be weak points. Typically, with hammer, most parts of the monster are not going to be very like DPS efficient outside of the head and maybe like obvious critical weak points. But you can always target wounds when you don't really have anything else to do, because wounds just scale your damage, so you can't really go wrong. You can always det them as well for bigger damage. But that is pretty much it for the basics of the hammer. If you felt like I missed anything, definitely drop a comments. I will be doing a follow-up video that goes over like actual combos in combat against like dangerous enemies that are not just sitting there. So yeah, that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.